Okay, so it's been a bit since I really dibbled and dabbled into what I'm doing in my craft behind the scenes. And I was just recently contacted by some spirits in which I do work with consistently from Demon House. Now, granted, my relationships have improved. Granted, still some of them will try to fuck with me or fuck with any operations in which I conduct and which I connect to that area. But there are some in which came to me and said, "Hey, we're willing to fucking work with you," and I pretty much asked them in what way they could even help me because whenever it comes to most of them, they tend to have affinity in which they are very good at fucking with people, and so they described in one way in pretense of which they'll actually help me with my clientele, in which they said, "Just go ahead and describe that we can protect them whenever it concerns their astral body. Like, for instance, any doubts or shit, or you have low self confidence, they'll essentially, they pretty much stated to me that they'll be the motherfuckers in which gets that fire up and fucking running and tells you, you know what, no, go out and fucking face it. They'll pretty much be those, like David Goggins in Spiritual Realm for you. They'll tell you, no, get your fucking ass up and go and move and do what the fuck you're needing to. So that's one way in which they're going to be helping me out with that and also helping anybody else out in which I'm going to be including within my services. And I know precisely which spirits in which it's going to be really bringing from me over to you, in which I'll give you the sigils for their names. And I'll also describe some methods in which you can contact them. But I wouldn't suggest Ouija boards. Reason why is because that sort of device, it's not just connected to them and per se. Like if you're just trying to contact them, it doesn't work like that. A Ouija board, it connects to every arena. It's a portal that opens up towards everything. You don't know what the fuck you're going to get through a Ouija board. But if you're doing like pendulum work and shit like that, it's more so confined as to the due premise as to what you're truly accessing. For a Ouija board, for some reason, you tend to open up more than one realm. It's a portal that opens up pretty much everywhere and not just the area you're trying to contact. But that is something much they have specified and much I can do for workings for y'all. In which if there's anybody that's a taker or anybody in which is pretty much interested in that idea, then go ahead, give me a contact. Now for the price ranges, I won't go into them. I'm going to be really focusing on getting as many people as I do to go out and share the results of my services, in which I'll describe to you the effect in which you'll feel around you, and also as to the results of my rituals in which you will know. You'll know. You'll either have fucking dreams or visions about it happening, of me doing what the fuck I need to do over here in order for it to be solidified, the connection between you and them. So that's something in which is going to be really built from, and which you're going to have to build from the premises of which offerings like change or anything that's like a knife or anything of those sorts. Those are the sorts of offerings they do like. Now that was from a fellow practitioner in which I learned that from, in which demons in which do guard you and aid you whenever it comes to insight and manifestation. They will give you the means to give you the steps as to where you're needing to go, especially if you don't know exactly how to at this moment. Now, I will go ahead and point out ancestral work. People don't generally like the idea of ancestral work for the reasons of they would have to work through all the bullshit. Like, for instance, if your family has a tendency to be very sexually depraved or, a sexual obsession, like with mother's side of the family or father's side of the family, and then you, for some reason, have this shit and you don't even know it, that's a shit which you got to work through. And that's the reason why people generally don't like ancestral work, but it's really the best medicine to get through all that fucking horseshit that's laid up in the bloodline, all that history, because honestly, the bloodline tells more about history than goddamn any books can, okay? Just sit with yourself and you'll get what the fuck I'm meaning. Uh, for this do adjustment, I'll go ahead and share this because that's specifically as to what they told me they're willing to do. So I'm saying go ahead and shoot this out there. If there's anybody that's a taker of this idea, then go ahead and contact me. It's free only on the due premise that you share the results of what I do with people of whom are actually willing to entertain this sort of shit and actually be obliged to having a ritual done for them. So have a blessed day, brothers and sisters. This is one of many videos in which is to come out specifically on what I'm able to do. And a lot's been happening whenever it comes to my craft, and a lot that I haven't said. So I'll be saying that in future vids. I'll let you know that right now.